This is the beginning of my series on Chad and Chrissy. So they were my last set of parents. They were my 21st set of parents. And yeah, they'll forever be my last set. So I actually met Chad and Chrissy when I was, I think 17. I might have just turned 18, but I was 17 or 18, and I had actually cut my thumb open. I was using a knife to scrape off like a gem or something on a jar, and it just went right into my thumb, and I had to get a couple stitches. And I met them because my neighbors across the street were, they owned a family practice, and they had invited doctors to join them, and those doctors were Chad and Chrissy. So Chad and Chrissy had just moved to town, and when we asked my neighbors, hey, could you help, stitch me up? They sent over Chrissy. And I remember the very first time I met her, she had this super Southern accent, and she was wearing this navy blue dress. And it's funny that I remember that because she wore this dress all the time. And when I say all the time, like I almost can't even picture her not in it. That's how often she wore it. But she was just I want to say short, but she wasn't super short, but she was shorter than I was. And she came over with her Southern twang and super bubbly. And she stitched me right there in the kitchen. And she was just really friendly. And then I met her again when I was 18 after Joel had abused me. Kristen had sent me to the OB to, one, make sure I was still a virgin, or see what my sexual activity was, I suppose. She wanted me to get a pap smear and make sure I didn't have STDs and blah, blah, blah. But I actually hadn't been sexually active at that time. So when I went into the office and Chrissy saw me, she knew immediately something was wrong, and I kind of just broke down. I was like, I am here because of this, and I don't want to do it. I don't think I had told her what was going on with Joel. I'm sure she would have reported it, but she knew something was wrong, and she just was like, well, if you're uncomfortable, we don't have to do this. And she did the pap. She was like, I can just send in saline, or we can just, I don't know what she actually did, but she didn't make me get a pap smear. So that was the 2 times I met her before I actually ended up living with Chad and Chrissy. So I'll have to do another part to explain the rest.